quality. So they're right there. Those of you who live here, and these are folks who made it possible. And look at the back here. That's Scott. Hey, Scott.
I'm the market manager.
Introduce yourself.
I'm Scott Teachner with 7-Eleven. This is a sublease from our property. Where community relations is a big part of our strategy. I live around the corner from a community garden in D.C., so I think this is great. Welcome.
It's wonderful. Wonderful.
And I want to thank, before I turn this over to Council President Urban, I want to thank a couple other people who are here and those who's around. First of all, I'd like to talk about Ursula. I can never say your name right. Ursula. I'm very familiar. How many of you are community gardeners? Community gardeners? And then they were in the back, she's a coordinator. Ursula maintains a listserv for the community gardens. It's a wonderful source of information, so you'll see her name a lot. And of course, David Becerra, who's our chief horticultural force, environmental education. And Valerie Urban heard from him a couple of years ago and said, we need community gardens. He just started doing it. So he's a great guy to know too. And also Carl Sears and George Halter, who work with David. They're in the back. They're going to make all of our stuff happen right here, turning over the soil and turning it into a garden. Because we can talk all we want, but without the guys who do it, we don't have a garden. So thank you, Carl, and thank you, George. And let me tell you how much people are going to do that. I see Roberto Rodriguez from the Silver Spring Roberto area. Silver Spring Municipal Center here. And we have a representative of Park Police back here. They're slowly starting to get the state of the Park Police. You watch your own police force. And many other wonderful members of our community. So I'm going to introduce Valerie Urban, president of Montgomery County Council, Silver Spring resident, and as I said, mother of community rights.
I don't know all about being the mother of community gardens, but I wasn't supposed to even give remarks today. Mary, because she's in charge, switched the agenda. But I really don't have any speech. I'm just here to say thank you on this glorious spring day that we're here in a very interesting neighborhood in Silver Spring as we are across the street, our neighbors in Columbia. 4 years ago, one of the first community meetings I attended was with Evan Glass and the South Silver Spring Citizens Association, and there was a woman in that meeting who asked one thing of me, and she said, I want you to do all that you can to create green space and community gardens in these urban neighborhoods where we have no yards. And so right away that gave me the impetus, because I'm a gardener myself, that I thought, what a great idea. So I got in touch with Mary Bradford, who then introduced me to David Becerra and Ursula, whose name I can't pronounce. And we proceeded to begin the work of finding space, which is real challenging down here in this urban area of Silver Spring. And we ended up putting our first garden in at Sligo Overlook Park in Tacoma Park. It's a beautiful, beautiful garden. And one of the things we learned from creating these spaces is that they also create community. And so we're going to be really excited to see what happens here when this garden gets started. But I'm just so honored and so thrilled, and I want to thank Evan Glass, who's still president of the South Spring Citizens Association, for hanging in there with us. And also to Harvey Mizell, who I'm sure is going to say something in a second. But Harvey, we've been working on this for 2 years. And Harvey is the developer who owns the property. And he is just a magnificent friend and a great resident, and does all that he can to help us here do the kind of things that we're doing today. So I want to thank you all for being here. I hope you've come through the garden as people are putting their plots together, and neighbors helping neighbors, and people learning from different people about what works and what doesn't work, and they actually turn into these beautiful, beautiful spaces. So I'm just here to say thanks to everyone, and I'm glad we were able to accomplish something. And in these very difficult budget times that we're facing in the county, it's really good to look at something like this, and we can all be very proud that we were able to accomplish what we're accomplishing today. And I also want to acknowledge Françoise Terrier, who is the planning board chair, who I'm so happy to see her. I didn't expect to see her here today. It's been a magnificent partnership between Park and Planning and the Parks Department and County Council. everybody's played a role here, so thanks all for being here. And I'm supposed to introduce, I think, Harvey Mizell. This is our great friend Harvey Mizell.